Hey ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody else. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jace from League of Legends.
Power Slam!
So yes, today we're talking about Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I think it's just because he's more relatable than a lot of the others. Like, how am I supposed to understand the problems of a rich billionaire like Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne?
What are your superpowers again?
I'm rich.
Or the troubles of godlike men from other planets like Thor or Superman. Spider-Man's just like a regular dude with regular struggles, just trying to make it through life, but also has superpowers. I love every single one of his movies. Yes, even those two. In fact, this shirt right here, I can't... It's an Amazing Spider-Man 2 shirt. It says it on the back of the shirt, like on this back here. Don't judge me.
But what if I told you there was already a cinematically released Spider-Man movie before the Tobey Maguire one from 2002?
Well, kind of. In 1977, there was a Spider-Man television series made, properly titled The Amazing Spider-Man. The pilot to the show was made to be an hour-and-a-half long movie to be aired on TV.
But Jace, you said it was released in theaters.
Well, it was. Just only internationally. You know, not in America. That's what international means. So ha! This is the first cinematic Spider-Man movie. Take that, Sam Raimi.
Stings, doesn't it?
I've heard a lot about this movie, but I've never actually sat down and watched it. So let's check it out. The movie starts off with a doctor and a lawyer leaving in the middle of doing their jobs, apparently to go rob a bank. Which people's reactions to this is just not normal. I'm pretty sure a lawyer cannot leave in the middle of a trial.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Mr. Conweiler, where are you going?
After that weirdness, we meet Peter Parker working at the Daily Bugle alongside the King of Rage himself, J. Jonah Jameson.
I'm sorry, sir. Nothing personal, but I'm a busy man.
Or mellow attitude JJ works too, I guess. Apparently it's a different actor in the actual show than the guy in this movie. So if this video does well, I'll watch those.
Please subscribe.
Random issue I have with this movie. Peter looks like he's about 30 years old. They do say in the movie that he's in college, but everyone still treats him like he's a teenager. Maybe this is an issue with me, but people from this time period always end up looking like they're about 40 or 14, and no in between. Also, I looked it up. Nicholas Hammond was 27 when this movie was made. It's revealed by the news
The best way of showing exposition in movies.
that the villain is using mind control somehow. Now, I don't know what I was expecting from this movie, but mind control wasn't it. You know, no Green Goblin or Venom, or if you want to go someone less special effects, you could go like Chameleon. No. Mind control guy. Got it. We move on to Peter in a laboratory working on some kind of radiation project that's never explained. So we know what's coming, guys. It's the spider bite. This is where I noticed a problem with the movie, though. The pacing is really bad. You can tell they were trying really hard to hit the exact runtime they needed of an hour and a half. Because this movie doesn't really feel like a movie. It feels like 3 separate episodes of a TV show smushed together to make a movie. There is a segment where Peter and his identical twin partner lab buddy friend use a mechanical arm to lift up a jar of liquid, and it goes on for a couple of minutes. Then a spider gets inside the container and eventually bites Peter, which is a super relaxed scene, by the way. Okay, maybe I'm just more used to modern movies, but compare this
Thanks.
to this. It's night and day. Peter starts feeling sick because he starts sneezing. And off topic for a second, because I want to talk about this. Why is this a thing in movies and television? Like, it's constantly shown in movies and TV that if you're sneezing, it means you're sick. But is that not a thing for anybody else, or is that just me? Like, when I get a cold, I don't sneeze. I generally feel bad and I might get a headache and a runny nose, but sneezing's just not a side effect. I know, random rant, but like, why is this a thing? Why is this a trend? Peter leaves the lab and immediately gets chased by a car. I assume it's one of the mind control guys, and we do get to see him wall crawl for the first time. I'll give this movie some credit. The wall crawling stuff is pretty cool, and it was probably really awesome to see back in the 1970s. And it really doesn't look that bad today. Never mind. Remember how awesome it was to see Tobey Maguire wall crawl for the first time? Well, this guy did it first. Yeah, something about this scene feels like a Shia LaBeouf green screen is needed.
Do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
Peter goes out to practice some more wall crawling when he sees a guy steal a woman's purse. He yells at the guy, only to be seen by a big group of people, and there's a cop there who for some reason just refuses to turn around and look at him. Like, this moment was so frustrating. Turn around, dude.
I saw him, I tell you, he was up on the wall, way up there.
Yeah, he's right, officer. I saw him too. Right there, coming down the wall.
What's the matter with you people?
I saw him.
To be fair, it wouldn't have really mattered if he turned around because Peter looks like every other white guy in the 70s. JJ ends up doing his classic "get me pictures of Spider-Man" speech, but it's in a super more laid-back way because that's how this JJ rolls. And I cannot imagine a more obvious "I am Spider-Man" conversation than this one.
No, sir, I told you he's not a spider. He's a full-grown man. He's got the strength of a spider, but it's all in proportion to his size. Spiders are very, very strong, you know, so he's thousands of times stronger than you or me. No, nothing like that. No, he wears a special costume.
A costume?
Well, why not? Would you like to go around with people pointing at you all the time? Hey, there goes that Spider-Man, the freak who climbs walls. I mean, why shouldn't he have the same privacy as you or me?
All right. He wears a costume. Now go home and get the picture.
Oh, by the way, we also do get to meet Aunt May in this movie, but no Uncle Ben. Then we get the reveal of the Spider-Man costume, and it's really goofy. I guess I can't really blame this movie because at the time the most popular superhero things looked like this. But I am really bothered by something about the costume, and it's not the eyes. The eyes are super ugly. When he takes off the mask, he doesn't take off like the mask. He takes it off by taking his whole back part over. I don't like that. Stop that. I'm uncomfortable. After this, we get another uncomfortably long scene. You know, when I was saying earlier, the pacing of the movie's off. Well, he goes to change into his Spider-Man costume, and it takes him like 10 seconds. It's like, come on, dude. Cut. Move on to the next thing. He just ran back there, ran out. I would have accepted it. I don't care. But no, we just get this long segment. I wonder, when filming this segment, was he actually just ran back there and had to change into the Spider-Man suit as quick as possible? This is what I'm talking about with these long scenes to fill in the runtime. Like, you know that whole segment earlier when he was wall crawling in the obvious green screen? That's just thrown into the movie. Like, just a random scene, just, oh, here's him practicing wall crawling. Clearly, they were like, oh shit, we didn't make this movie long enough. We need to refilm this part. Okay, here's a wall crawling segment. So they have all these moments that are just so uncomfortably long that I'm just sitting there like, can we move on? Can we go to the next thing, please, Spider-Man? Peter goes to check out a car crash, and we assume it's the guy from earlier in the movie, but it's never really said. And I'm bad at recognizing cars, so it could just be a random car crash and I'm stupid. Peter does get to show off his super strength and gets the guy out of the car with no one noticing. But I guess spider sense doesn't work in this world because a guy bumps into him, he drops his camera and loses all of the pictures he just took of himself as Spider-Man. We then meet a woman named Rita Conway. And got it, she's the love interest. Yeah, I actually made a mistake here. This character's name is Judy, not Rita. You see, when I was filming this video, I forgot the name of the character, so I went on the Wikipedia page of the show and just saw the first actress listed and assumed this was her. Clearly, this is a totally different character from the show. And I say her name is Rita the entire video, and I just did not want to re-record this. So, sorry. I'm a professional YouTuber, I swear. The man who Peter saved in the car ends up going to the hospital and, holy shit, this movie just got dark. He gets mind controlled to jump out of the building and commit suicide? You know, when I chose to watch this movie, I thought I was getting Adam West Batman silly goofy fun time, but with Spider-Man. Not fucking Bird Box. Spider-Man does save him though, so everything works out.
Yay!
Peter goes back to the Bugle to get yelled at by JJ for not getting pictures.
All right. Let's have your pictures of Tyler in the car crash.
Oh, well, sir,
Let's have them.
Well, you see, what had happened was I was there, but then I wasn't there. Peter goes on a walk with Rita where she says she wants to go see some sort of new age psychologist guru guy named Mr. Byron. So Mr. Byron's the mind control guy. Got it.
Your life doesn't work, then you have to change it.
Yep, that's the villain. First scene, that's the villain. No, that's the bad guy. Mr. Byron gives a speech to all these people, and it's basically just him yelling at them, calling them all stupid.
I know what would make me happy. A house in the country for my children.
That's another one of those stupid dreams. But until you live now, you'll never get a chance to know it. You've lived in your mind so much you've probably never lived anywhere else.
Oh, then for some reason, Mr. Byron throws Peter and Rita out of the meeting. They end up driving home and have some romantic tension on the car ride, and Peter, you know, he's a nice guy.
I mean, the way things are going for me now, I can use some help.
Well, would you settle for a poverty-stricken grad student?
Nice guys finish last.
We do see Peter develop his web shooters, and man, the webs in this movie, they're just white ropes. I mean, I understand it's the 70s and special effects, but this just looks goofy. Also, he's not even wearing the web shooters in the first scene that we see him swinging. Peter starts picking up some weird frequency on a device that he has at his home. For some reason, he just has a device, and he calls the frequency microwaves. Microwaves.
It acts like something you'd be using down at the space lab. It's in the microwave range. Are you sure nothing's on?
Now I know microwaves are a real thing. It's just, whenever I hear that word, I can't help but think of like TV dinners.
Sponsored by Hungry Man.
He goes out searching for the cause of the microwaves, and I don't know why, but this moment where he's on top of the building and sneezes and throws away his device is just hilarious to me. Spidey goes inside the building, and yeah, another really long take where a bunch of guys pop out of nowhere to fight him. Seriously, I was half expecting this guy to yell boo when he jumps out. Oh yeah, you thought the action at the end of Endgame was great? Well, you haven't seen 1970's Amazing Spider-Man. There's no music in this part, and it really bothers me. Once the action starts, it's really not that bad, but they speed up the footage to make it look like they're going faster than they are, and come on, that's just amateur, man. But honestly, the stuff of him jumping onto the walls mid-fight, that's kind of cool. Except Spidey, how is this web stopping anybody? I'm also slightly bothered because he spends every single fight scene in the entire movie like this. Looks like he's getting ready for like a WWE match.
That's a cute outfit. Did your husband give it to you?
He swings away, which again, I'll give the movie some credit. Doesn't look that bad. It's just so weird because some of the effects in this movie really don't look that bad, but then some are this.
Nothing is impossible!
Make a decision, movie.
Peter goes to meet up with the chief of police, and I think his name's Captain Barbera, to be honest. I don't really remember. But honestly, once you hear this dude speak, Captain Barbera is a pretty fitting name for him.
Oh, what do you want me to do about this Spider-Man?
Oh, I'm getting reinforcements for him.
Good.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And if we're lucky, maybe Rumpelstiltskin will lend us a hand. What am I gonna do about Spider-Man? How do I know? I'm a cop, not an exterminator.
Oh, he also yells at Peter saying he wants to speak to Spider-Man, which is a different topic altogether on why this is a thing in Spider-Man movies. Like, I know as the audience, we know Peter is Spider-Man, but the people in universe do not know that. So why do they assume Spider-Man's photographer can just get them a meeting with Spider-Man? Peter goes to meet up with Mr. Byron, and he gets mind controlled in a kind of terrifying moment. Seriously, the lights shut off, loud scary music plays. This comes out of nowhere and scares the shit out of me. Mr. Byron does try to force Peter to do something, but I guess it doesn't work because he's Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is just too cool like that. We eventually get another awkward fight scene, and this part just makes me laugh because it looks like the bad guys, like, give up 2 seconds into the fight. Turns out they were going to grab fucking flamethrowers. Peter is struggling with the mind control, I guess, because he loses his powers for a minute. Huh. Looks like Sam Raimi stole that too. But this moment is just funny because he tries to get a taxi home, but he can't because he doesn't have any money on him and no one wants to pick up the freak in the costume. So he has to take a freaking garbage truck home. Peter gets back to his lab and figures out how Mr. Byron has been controlling people. He's using microwaves. But didn't we already know that? The movie treats it as if it's this big revelation, but it's literally the first thing Peter says when he first picked up the frequencies. I think this is kind of what I mean when I say this movie feels kind of segmented into episodes versus a movie itself. They're like, oh, I don't think people are going to remember what happened last episode, so we got to remind them microwaves are bad. Bad microwaves. Regardless, Peter and a bunch of other people start getting mind controlled to go kill themselves. Also, Mr. Byron has multiple scenes of him like standing with binoculars looking out to a boat. It's never really explained why, but this whole segment where he's looking out to the boat is hilarious.
Sorry to disappoint you boys, but the city just ran out of money. Freeze!
Okay, you don't have to get sore. We quit.
Now everyone, take it nice and easy. We don't want anyone getting wet. Come on, move along.
Peter goes to kill himself at the top of the Empire State Building, and he starts to climb up. He knocks off his button from his shirt, and for some reason that knocks him out of the mind control. I mean, I guess. I don't know what else would have done it, but he's out of the mind control. Which, I'm wondering how there are no people reacting in this situation. Isn't the Empire State Building like one of the most common places people try to kill themselves? That's why they have all those fences there in the first place, and he just climbs up and literally no one bats an eye. They're just like, ah, there's another guy. Alright. He changes into his Spider-Man outfit, which it has a utility belt now. It hasn't been there the whole movie, but they just added it here. Peter breaks whatever device Mr. Byron was using to control all the people, and for some reason that turns Mr. Byron into the easily controlled zombie-like state that he was putting people in, and Peter tells him to go turn himself in. Peter talks to the chief of police about the whole situation, and seriously, dude, lay off the cigarettes.
Well, next time you're gonna end up in jail for giving false information.
And I can't believe I'm saying this. You're gonna think I'm joking, but I'm serious. This is how the movie ends. Peter shows photos to JJ of Spider-Man, which are selfies of Spider-Man with the criminals from earlier in the movie.
What about these?
Wow, it's almost like you're the dragonfly.
No, see? Look.
What did I even just watch? I will say this movie has charm. I actually didn't hate it. Maybe that's just my love for Spider-Man showing through. If you don't love the character of Spider-Man and Peter Parker, I can't really imagine you getting that much enjoyment out of this other than laughing at its goofy moments. But I mean, I guess I did that too. I guess my biggest question is, why isn't this show more well known out of just Spider-Man nerd circles? I mean, everyone and their mom knows about Adam West Batman. He's basically a cultural icon at this point. But I never really hear about this one, maybe because it's not as goofy, or at least not goofy in the same way. That all being said, it was a fun time, and Nicholas Hammond, you'll always be the first Spider-Man to me. Yeah, that probably doesn't mean that much. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff that helps a small YouTuber out. I also just bought a bunch of new lights, and I need money. I'm broke. So if you watch this video, it helps me make money, so please do that. Thank you.